Hey guys, I am Elizabeth, the Minister of Beauty, and I share the Bible. That's business inspiration, beauty, life, and enjoyment. I am a licensed esthetician. I am a beauty business owner and operator of 15 years now. I also am a skincare line creator. To find out more about me and to find out more about the skincare line, you can check out the links. The websites are in the description box below. But first, I want to thank you all for being here. If you are not subscribed to my channel yet, go ahead and hit that button. I try to be extremely consistent by sharing content about business inspiration, beauty topics, vlogs, lifestyle vlogs, and some things on enjoyment throughout the week here on the Minister of Beauty channel. But listen, guys, being 15 years in as a business owner and previously being a legal assistant for 12 years and just transitioning from the wellness and beauty industry, it was something that I wasn't sure if it was going to work out for me or if it was going to be successful. I just knew that it was something that I felt within my spirit that I needed to do and wanted to do as well. But again, transitioning from the legal field into the wellness and beauty industry, it was not necessarily my goal to open up my own business. I just knew that I wanted to do something else that was going to bring me more peace, happiness, joy, and not be as stressful as the legal field was for me. 12 years in, I just knew that that was not what I wanted to do with the rest of my life. So for those that I was connected to, those that were around me, it did not really make a lot of sense to go from being in the legal field, making a consistent, steady paycheck, having my own office, and being in what would be deemed as a prestigious field to go into doing something where I was sort of like a servant, so to speak. But you're not a servant, you are providing a service. And so with that being said, there were some negative connotations to being what I used to be, which I'm still licensed, but I don't practice anymore, which was a licensed massage therapist, as well as a licensed esthetician. The connotations that come with being a massage therapist, as well as sometimes, when people talk about being an esthetician and you're waxing people's hoo-haws and wahoos and all that different type of stuff. And it just, wasn't seen as something by a number of people as being something that would be looked upon in a way of having pride about versus being a legal assistant. But for me, being a legal assistant was merely just a title. It wasn't something that I enjoyed doing. Yeah, the money was decent, but to be honest with you, it wasn't really as great, especially depending on the amount of workload that I had, But with all things being considered, transitioning from the legal field to the wellness and beauty field, I'm not saying I'm one of the first ones to ever do anything like that, meaning transitioning from one field to a completely, totally different arena. But what I'm saying is, when you're doing that, sometimes you're not looked at as having all of your marbles or maybe even, sane, because it's like, why would you do that? But listen, I got inspired just to talk about this because I heard one of my mentors and spiritual leaders talking about this, and it was like just spot on. And I said, you know what? It's so true. But when you are doing something that some people may say you're crazy to do, what are you thinking? The way you respond to that is to say, I'm not crazy, I'm first. And that's not to say that you're the first person ever to do something like you're doing, right? Because technically there's really nothing new under the sun. But yet and still, you may be the first in your family. You may be the first in your circle. You may be the first among your group of friends or just acquaintances, associates, whatever it may be. You may be the first in their eyes to do something like that. And because you are the first to them, it makes you look crazy. As well as sometimes people, they extend the doubts that they have within themselves upon you. And that's one thing that I learned many years ago when I decided to do what I was doing. At first, the doubts that I was hearing, it was a little bit frustrating as well as disappointing. But then I had to have the realization, and I said, well, the faith that I have in me and for me is not the faith that this person has. I can't expect them to have the faith that I have in me and for me, because it's not their faith, it's mine. So it's not their actions, it's mine. But because they can't see through the lens of faith that you have for yourself and in the greater one within you that really helps you to make those bold, courageous moves, then they're not going to see the things that you are seeing for yourself. And even when we have the faith for ourselves, it's not that we see everything laid out before us. This is how it's going to begin. This is how the middle is going to be. And this is how, whenever you get to that end point, the end is going to be. Because honestly, if everything was laid out before us, a lot of us wouldn't even proceed and move forward, right? And I can't say that immediately when I was having those feelings that I just said, okay, yeah, I'm going to just move forward, proceed without caution. No, I was cautious. I was nervous. I was even having fear moments at some points in time, but I definitely did it. And now 15 years later, millions of dollars that the business has made, it definitely is something that I can say I was not crazy. I was just first, So when you have thoughts and desires to do something, whether it is a business venture, whether it is you becoming an entrepreneur, being the first in your family, amongst your group of friends or whatever, or maybe even not just opening up and starting your own business, because again, that's not for everyone, but going into a different career field where you're going to be working in someone else's establishment and being an asset, becoming an asset so that you can build and have more assets of your own. And people wonder, well, why would you step out of what you're doing to go and do something like that? You must be crazy. The thing you would have to do is just show and prove, and then you tell, versus expecting people to understand what you are saying. Sometimes they just have to see what you're saying. But what you're going to have to do is to start saying what you desire to see so that you can start seeing what you are saying, right? And those things will begin to manifest. But again, you have to make movements. You can't just sit there and not do anything and just speak and expect things to fall into your lap and to happen for you. You have to make moves. So in all of that, I just wanted to encourage you to say that even though people may think that you're crazy for making the decisions that you're making the moves that you're making, because no one else in the family has ever done that before. Are you crazy? No, I'm first. Okay? So think about it. There's so many people that have been first in life that we can think of. We can name a lot of examples, right? And sometimes they may seem like an anomaly, or they're special, like Steve Jobs, who's no longer with us because he created what he created, which is still an amazing, thriving company, which is Apple. You may not create an apple, but you may create an orange. And I'm not trying to be funny, but I'm just saying what you are working to create, it's yours. It's your creation, and other people are going to believe in it. I am still working in my business. I'm not working as much in the business as I used to work in the business. But all of these years, I'm so grateful that I've built up and established an amazing business that has become a household name, that still people are grateful, and I'm grateful for them to come to, whether they're seeing myself or one of my team members. And I'm so grateful that I can say that I was not crazy. I was just first. I was the first to create the business that I created in my state that specializes in the services that we specialize in. Definitely was the first in my family to start their own business, and a successful business at that. And many people have become first when people call them crazy. So just flip it, change the narrative. When they call you crazy, just say, no, I'm not crazy. I'm first. So guys, I hope you got something from this. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Comment, I'm first. Let me know that you are just continuing to forge ahead in spite of the people that may call you crazy. Guys, I am Elizabeth, the Minister of Beauty, and I share the Bible. That's business inspiration, beauty, life, and enjoyment. Share this video with someone that you know, like, and love. Thank you so much for subscribing to this channel. And until the next time, I hope and pray you all have an amazingly blessed and beautiful day.